Think I'm live. Hey, we got somebody in here. What's going on? What's up, Fry? How you doing, baby? So yeah, I had this all planned out. I was gonna have my beautiful face here, the live stream up here, and then I was gonna have a full screen over here. But it's my first time, so it didn't work out really well. But we're gonna wing it. We're gonna go for it anyway. What I want to do is try to kill two birds with one stone. So I sat down today. I just finished Mel Gibson yesterday. I'm going to rank all 40 of the videos that we've talked over the last week. And then I assigned points to them based off of their ranking. So obviously, number 40 only gets 1 point, 39 gets 2 points, all the way down to number one gets 40 points. And then I tallied them all up and we found out who, at least in my opinion, has the best action movies of the 80s and 90s. So we're going to start with, again, it's not a great movie anymore, but at the moment it was Armageddon. Number 40 is Armageddon. So again, if you've watched my video, you know that this movie is basically a laughing stock these days. NASA literally uses it for training on what not to do. So it's not the greatest you know, real telling of how to send astronauts to space, but it's a lot of fun. It has moments of great comedy, great emotion. The heartfelt moments don't work quite as well for me. They're definitely trying to, I feel, I don't know, manipulate you a little bit. There's certain moments where I feel like they're trying to push you one way and they're not letting you enjoy the movie. So 40 Armageddon. We'll move on. We don't need to talk about it too often. But number 39, again, compared to all these great movies, we got to throw some at the bottom. It's not that I don't enjoy this movie, but compared to everything else, it's going to fall 39. So Jingle All the Way. Arnold Schwarzenegger's comedy. It's a Christmas movie. I watch it every year. I really do. Honestly, it's on my yearly watches. I think him and Sinbad together, comedy gold. I wish we would have got a couple more movies, maybe one or two with those two. I think they worked really well together. So 39, I got to give a shout out to Jingle All the Way. It's one of my personal favorites. We're gonna keep moving along. Number 38 is gonna be Rocky 4. And for most people, this is the one where he fights the big Russian guy. It's really all you know about it. Apollo Creed dies. Rocky goes and fights the big Russian guy. It's motivating. It makes you want to get up and run through a wall. I think my dog's coming to join me. Come on, buddy. You want to come say hi? Come say hi. Oh, there's the best co-host a man could ask for right here. Oh yeah. So anyway, Rocky 4 again fights the big Russian. We all know what we're showing up for. We're showing up for the training montage. We're showing up for the final fight. Rocky 4 is still a good watch, still a good time. I watch it, you know, maybe once every year or so. Number 37, Mad Max. Again, in my review, I know that I'm in the minority. I know that most people think that this is a masterpiece. I'm just not one of those people. I tried to watch it and I was just bored for most of it, other than Toe Cutter is memorable. Obviously, the movie starts with the Knight Rider. He's memorable. You get it. It's fun. Max is boring. I'm sorry. In the first movie, Max bored the shit out of me. I liked his partner Goose better, and then they throw him away halfway through the movie. So it's just again, it's a means to an end. I like Road Warrior and Thunderdome's fun, but I think Road Warrior is the only great movie in that trilogy. And then obviously Fury Road just blew everything out of the water. So I got to give it a little bit of respect. It's not last, even though we're talking pure enjoyment, it might be. But number 37, Mad Max. What's that? Ryan, you're not a Mad Max fan? I like the new one. I thought Fury Road was great. I think that if you're talking just how you make a movie visually, telling a story, Fury Road is 2 hours of a chase. You know, it's just a 2 hour chase, not unlike Terminator 2. And those are two movies that show you how to keep and build suspense. So I do like Fury Road, but most of the other ones are mediocre at best, in my opinion. But anyway, 36, we're going to do Conan the Barbarian. Again, one of Arnold's earlier works. I like the costumes. I like the set pieces. I like the action. I like sword fighting. You know, I've really like great sword fighting. So this movie gives you just enough action. Again, shows you what Arnold could do, but you put him opposite James Earl Jones, so he's outclassed in every way you can as far as acting goes. But that's not why you're showing up for Conan the Barbarian. So number 36, the original Conan. What we got? Love Jingle All the Way. Hell yeah, man. I mean, it's good fun. It's great fun. You know, there is a little part of me that gets sad every time I watch it because of Phil Hartman, the fact that he passed away not long after that movie came out. But I still love Jingle All the Way. Jingle All the Way is a classic. Yeah, I mean Conan is a fantastic movie for its time, for sure. I just again, we're talking about four of the best in the world, and I wish I liked it more, but I don't. So, but number 35, I don't know. Comment if you've seen this before. If you guys have seen number 35, Death Race 2000. This is an older movie Stallone released back in the mid 70s. And I'm sure if you haven't seen this, most of you have seen Death Race with Jason Statham, Tyrese. This is a remake of that. And Stallone plays the Machine Gun Joe character that Tyrese played, and he's the perfect asshole. He's super campy, super over the top, and it's actually kind of fun because Stallone doesn't play the bad guy very often, certainly not anymore. So it was fun to go back and watch that movie. So I definitely, yeah, we need to watch that. We definitely need to watch Death Race 2000. It's got David Carradine in it. I mean, if Sly's not enough for you, David Carradine plays Frankenstein, so it's got two megastars in it. You know, it's a great movie. And yeah, oh hell yeah, absolutely, AJ. Commando's a lot of fun. But we're gonna move on. Number 34 is Lethal Weapon 4. Again, this movie, at least for me, would be utterly forgettable if not for Jet Li. I like the opening sequence with the guy in the suit of armor. It's a lot of fun. You know, Murtaugh running around, flapping his wings. It gets a laugh every time. But what I remember this movie for is Jet Li, introducing me to Jet Li, and from there I became infatuated with that dude. I love classic martial arts like that. So bringing that kind of element into the Lethal Weapon franchise, I think was a great move, and I'm a big fan of that. I Again, it's a solid franchise, so it's going to fall at the bottom, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just in the Lethal Weapon franchise. And as far as action franchises go, that's about as consistent as you're going to get. So, Lethal Weapon 4 is going to be number 34 for me. What's that say? Lethal Weapon. Right. Yeah, yeah, Uncle Bernie, for sure, for sure. Uncle Benny. Uncle Benny, my bad. Not Uncle Bernie, Uncle Benny. I was sad when Uncle Benny died, man. I didn't want Uncle Benny to die, uh, but that had to happen. He's the bad guy. Number 33 is gonna be Die Hard 2. I Again, it's Die Hard at an airport. It's the same movie as the first one, and John McClane spends most of the movie just quipping about how it's absolutely ridiculous that he's in this same situation again. Um, what I like is that it doesn't take a long time to get going. As soon as he shows up to the airport, shit starts popping off. It gets crazy. A lot of over the top action. The twist worked the first time, doesn't work again. It is a Christmas movie. It's absolutely a Christmas movie. You know what else is a Christmas movie? Lethal Weapon. Pretty sure Lethal Weapon takes place during Christmas too, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe I'm misremembering, but there's definitely another classic action movie that's a Christmas movie. Mark my words, I'm telling you, it is. I will fight that to the it's a Christmas movie, it's a Christmas movie, it's a Christmas movie. But Die Hard 2, again, pretty forgettable. I watch it when I'm binging the movies, but I like number 1 and I like number 3 the best, so it's gonna fall at number 33. First one does. Yeah, 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 for sure. Uh, Number 32 is gonna be The Whole 9 Yards. I don't know if you guys remember this movie, if you've seen this movie. It's an old Bruce Willis comedy, co-stars Matthew Perry, and he's a contract killer, Jimmy the Tulip. And I actually remember Yanni Gogolak more than Jimmy the Tulip or Oz from the movie. I think it was Kevin Pollak, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot his name last time. Hopefully, I remembered this time. But he kills me. He kills me in this one, and he kills me in the sequel. But I like the dynamic between Bruce Willis and Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry was at the height of his fame. Um, I think they have a wonderful dynamic, and I like the humor in this movie. It's pretty raunchy. There's some Amanda Pete. Yeah, of course, my God, Amanda Pete in the window. Yep, sign me up. Anyway, 32 whole 9 yards. I'll take a little bit more time once we get close to the top of the list, but for right now, I'm trying to bang through a lot of these. We got a lot to get through. Number 31, Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome. Compared to the first one, this one's a masterpiece, in my opinion. At least I had a good time. What we got? This one's one of my favorite movies of all time. I could watch it all day. Which one is that? What's your favorite movie of all time? Mad Max? Mad Max 3? Because I get it. I get it. I don't dislike Mad Max 3. I enjoy uh, meeting all the characters. The Thunderdome sequence is okay. I don't like the springy thing. I wish they would have just been in the pit and been down there like banging with weapons and such. I think that the whole nine, yeah, hey, that's a good one too. I think that's an underrated comedy. The whole 9 yards is absolutely an underrated comedy in my opinion. But Mad Max 3 got late great Tina Turner, R.I.P. She's fantastic. Got Master Blaster. Everybody remembers him, the little dwarf with the riding on the big guy's shoulders. And again, it's at least it's not boring. Mad Max doesn't do anything for you. Yeah. Again, I know that they're classics. I can't just completely dismiss them because they don't work for me. Parts of them do. Parts of them work for me, but I I certainly wasn't appreciate practical crashes, real life fires. I understand how difficult it was back then to shoot some of those scenes. So I can respect the filmmakers for what they did, but it's just not my favorite movie. So I can't watch it. I can't watch it all the time. But anyway, we'll move on. Number 30, Rocky 3. Now, this is a movie that, while I won't say that it's fantastic, I do enjoy watching Rocky 3. Pretty much anytime I get a chance to catch it, if it's on TV, I'm going to watch it because there's something about watching Rocky Balboa kick the shit out of somebody for once. He through the entirety of his 6 movie journey where he's fighting, he spends most of the time as a freaking sack of potatoes just getting punched around. And then he hearts himself to the victory. We see it all the time. It's great. It's uplifting. It's moving. I like watching him go out there and beat the shit out of somebody. Okay, that's why I enjoy that. No need to fear. Thunderlips is here in the flesh, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's Hulk Hogan's best role. 100%. Here you go, buddy. Commando. 29 is Commando. Again, I wish I could put Commando a little bit higher because you're not wrong. I do enjoy, not unlike what I just said, watching Arnold just kick the shit out of a bunch of people. That's all it is. You're not watching somebody defy the odds and rise up and meet. They're like, this guy he's the shit, he's the truth, and he's coming for you. And again, like I said in my video, I think this movie has some of Arnold's best one-liners. So I love Commando. I love Commando. You're ridiculous. Oh, come on. So 29 is going to be Commando. Number 28, Ants. I think people forget how funny this movie actually is. I watched it recently, and it's a very adult cartoon. And Sly's got some great moments. He plays the big, juiced up freaking worker or soldier ant, and switches places with, I think his name's Z. Again, it's been a minute. I can't remember his name. I think it's Z. Just watched it the other day, and I can't remember his name, but I think it's Z. And Sly plays Weaver, I believe, and they switch places. It's an adult cartoon, okay? You got to tune into it. They talk about death, they drink, they swear. What more do you need? You don't see too many animated movies outside of Sausage Party that take that kind of stuff. So I like watching Ants, and I think the ending actually works really well. Gene Hackman plays the bad guy. How often does Gene Hackman do voice work? So adult bug. You're absolutely right. That is exactly what it is. It's an adult bug life because hey, I like a bug's life because a bug's life, while they didn't quite go as far as ants did, there's some innuendo jokes in there for adults for sure. So I like a Bug's Life. What do we have? Creed movies are a great follow-up to the Rocky franchise. That's the truth, man. I mean, if you guys haven't seen all 3 of the Creed movies, they're amazing, and all they do is enhance the Rocky franchise. So I think Stop or My Mama Shoot is greater than Ants. I mean, yeah, sure. In your opinion, I like Ants. I think Ants is a funny movie. I think people dismiss it because it's a animated movie. But let's move on to one that I think will get more agreement. 27, Kindergarten Cop is not a tumor. Come on. Who's your daddy and what does he do? We all quote this movie all the time. Okay. We all remember the quotes. So, Kindergarten Cop, it's a simple movie. It's based off of just the singular joke of Arnold is huge, preschoolers are not. They say silly things. He talks funny. Okay. It's an easy movie. It works. They give you just enough action to keep you entertained. I like the start of the movie and I do like the end of the movie. So, Kindergarten Cop proved that Arnold could be funny. What are we? 26, 12 Monkeys. Who's watched 12 Monkeys this decade? Anybody? Has anybody other than me watched 12 Monkeys this decade? Because it's kind of interesting to watch it now, especially with everything that went on with COVID. So it's an interesting watch. Again, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, we watched it the other day. Ryan, you should check it out, bro. You should definitely check it out. It's interesting. That's all I'll say. Especially now that it's an older movie. It's fun to see what the filmmakers thought the future would be like. Now that we're living in it, we can see what they got right and what they got wrong. Number 25, Lethal Weapon 2. Not my favorite sequel by any stretch. Definitely one of the few Brad Pitt movies I like. You're not a Brad Pitt fan? Man, how are you not a Brad Pitt fan? Dude, Troy is the shit. That has to be at least another Brad Pitt movie that you like. Yeah, but he got an Oscar nom for 12 Monkeys, so he deserved the love he got for that. But anyway, moving on. 25, Lethal Weapon 2. Again, I covered it in my review. This movie's good. The dynamic between Riggs and Murtaugh's fine. What holds this movie back for me is the villain. I don't really care for the South African diplomats and their complaining diplomatic immunity. They're not outwitting, Riggs and Murtaugh. They're just using the law and exploiting a loophole. Yeah, I don't like that. It only gives you the really badass moment at the end where obviously Murtaugh shoots him in the head. It's that moment is epic, and that's probably the only reason that I think it falls this far on the list. But other than that, it's kind of just a forgettable movie for me. So number 25, Lethal Weapon 2. Number 24, Cliffhanger. I like Cliffhanger. Cliffhanger for me is like Die Hard on a mountain, and you have your everyday man. He's not a superhero. He's just trying to do the right thing, and he goes on a distress call, finds out that there's a bunch of thieves who have stolen a buttload of money, but they lost it, and now they're trying to get it back. And that's really, I mean, that's it. It's just action after action after action, And Stallone is peak Stallone here. He's jacked. He looks great, and it's a lot of fun. I like the co-star Michael Rourke or Michael Rucker. I can't forget. I'm terrible with actors' names right now, but Mary Poppins. Come on, man. Freaking Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy. He plays his best friend. He's amazing in this movie too. You got John Lithgow, freaking uh, Lord Farquaad running around being a dickhead. So what more could you need? Number 23, Maverick. Maverick is again one of my favorite Mel Gibson movies simply because it's different than most of his other movies. It's super lighthearted, it's funny, it's campy. Jodie Foster, hell, I mean, I was like 15 before I realized that was the same person that was in Silence of the Lamb. She is so good in that movie, you don't even realize it's her. Michael Rooker. Yep, that's it. Uh, Troy and Once Upon a Time. Yep. Well, my pappy's. Now I never said that. You've been misquoting me for years. I like Maverick. Okay, I like the finale. The whole poker scene is a lot of fun with all the cheaters throwing him off the boat, and then obviously the ending when he throws the card at the camera makes you feel good, makes you laugh. Number 22, The Sixth Sense. It should probably be higher. It's a fantastic movie, but the twist was ruined for me. So unfortunately, my viewing experience of that movie was slightly tainted. I can still go back and watch it. I don't know that you need the twist for it to be a fantastic movie, but it definitely ruined my initial viewing experience, that's for sure. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think that the 3 leads, for sure in Maverick have a wonderful dynamic, and that's what the movie's built on. The movie's built on those guys going out there and just charming your pants off. Love the M. Night Shyamalan movies. M. Night Shyamalan, he is I mean, I'm not saying anything everybody doesn't already know, but the dude's hit and miss. I think his movies are either dog shit or they're masterpieces. I think Signs is great. Sixth Sense was great. Unbreakable is going to come up later. Unbreakable is one of my favorite movies. I think that's how you create a real superhero, at least something that could exist in the real world. So I'm a big M. Night Shyamalan fan. But this again, Sixth Sense, it deserves to be higher. I know that it does, but I don't watch it. I don't ever throw it on because it's just not my cup of tea these days. Number 21, Last Action Hero. Again, another movie that I think is underrated, underappreciated, and misunderstood when it came out. I think nowadays folks understand what they were going for. Okay, what if you, now I also understand that I think a lot of the problem with this movie was the way it was marketed. If you went into Last Action Hero thinking that you were going to get another standard Arnold blow up action movie, you might be a little disappointed when they start talking about going into movies and jumping between worlds. It kind of pushes the suspense of disbelief a little bit for some people. Obviously, he goes into a movie. But for me, I was Danny. I wanted to go into the movie. I wanted to help save the day. I wanted to be the hero. So this movie has always spoken to me. I think it's a blast. And then you've got freaking Tywin Lannister is the bad guy in the movie. My God, I mean, come on. This movie's fantastic. I will watch Last Action Hero all day, every day, and twice on Sunday for sure. Number 20, Rambo: First Blood Part 2. There could not be a more different sequel than First Blood, as far as, like, taking the same guy and just being like, "Yeah, the first one was really it was more mental. It was exploring the struggles of soldiers coming back and what that does to him. And then the second one was like, fuck it, he's fine. Throw him in Vietnam, and he's gonna blow 100 people up. So you know what? It's fine. I like both movies for completely different reasons. Number 20, Rambo: First Blood Part 2 has some of the best action sequences of the entire franchise. So it deserves a spot in the top 20. Number 19 is gonna be the highest ranking Mad Max movie for me, and that's Mad Max 2, Road Warrior. It's the only one that I really enjoy watching from start to finish, and it's the only one that I think is actually a really, really good. I do like Road Warrior. I think that they do a lot of show don't tell, which is something that filmmakers have lost sight of. You don't have to explain every single little bit of the movie to us. We're not idiots, okay? We understand. So give us enough to keep the plot moving forward. Give us action, give us interesting characters, give us good dialogue, and we're going to watch, okay? Stop insulting your audience. Take a message from Mad Max 2 and just let us go on the ride, okay? That's one thing that this movie does do very well is it just lets you go on the ride. So Mad Max 2, number 19. We're going to follow that up with a movie that I really enjoy watching, and that's Die Hard with a Vengeance. For me, this is as close to the original Die Hard as they ever got and they ever will get now that Bruce Willis is officially retired from acting. But this is the only movie where you get John McClane in New York. I think that's cool. Obviously, Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, they work really well together. They're in several movies together that are very, very good. Um, you get, you know, freaking Simon as the bad guy. You get Jeremy Irons. I could listen to that dude talk on the phone all day. So there you go. And it's fun to watch them run around, solve the puzzles. Again, that's what I always remember. I always remember John and Samuel L. Jackson running around. Zeus was his name. I won't call him Samuel L. Jackson anymore. John McClane and Zeus running around New York, diffusing the bombs, and then I remember the ending. This is a movie I always remember watching when I was a kid. Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, Jeremy Irons is the best. Come on, Scar, that voice. He's also a really good Alfred. Also a really good Alfred. I thought he was fantastic as the Batman Alfred for sure. Number 17, another movie that I don't ever hear anybody talk about, Copland. Guys, if you haven't seen Copland, I mean, just look at the list of actors that are in the movie, and that's all you really need to know is it's got De Niro in it. It's got a bunch of fantastic actors. It's about a sheriff who lives in Jersey. He's the sheriff of a small town where all the New York cops live, and it's just full of corruption. Again, I don't want to tell you too much about it because that's part of the journey is kind of figuring out what's going on. But I definitely recommend you watch it again. If you haven't seen it, I know my wife hasn't seen it. We're gonna watch it very soon. Copland's a great movie. Number 16, M. Night Shyamalan again, Unbreakable. This is probably my favorite of his movies. I would say I'm trying to think if there's one that I like more, but I don't think so. I think this is probably my favorite M. Night. And again, I'm a big superhero fan, so if you give me a grounded take on a superhero, and again, you throw Bruce Willis, you throw Samuel L. Jackson in the movie together, you're probably going to come out all right. And I really enjoy kind of figuring out what's happening because you didn't downright know what was going on when the movie first released. You knew that the man survived a train wreck, but you don't really know what's going on. So I appreciate the journey. I love the movie Unbreakable, number 16. We're getting into the good ones now, guys. I like Split out of the franchise. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I think that of the three, I think that Split is probably the most fun to watch because James McAvoy is remarkable. That man, we talk about a guy that's got some talent. That dude's on another level. James McAvoy's fantastic. So yeah, he elevates Split. I think that's a lot of fun. I do. I think I like Unbreakable just Smidge more. I don't know. It's tough. That's tough. Number 15 is Total Recall. Again, legendary movie, okay? Legendary movie. This is one of Arnold's best. I don't have to tell you what the movie's about. You already know the story. Uh, it's more intriguing to talk about what it all really means. I mean, we're still talking about to this day what's true and what's not. Was he in recall? Was he not in recall? Was he really a spy? Who the hell knows? I don't. I just know that I enjoy watching Total Recall, and a lot of really cool practical effects. Again, you're going to hear me talk about that a lot. I appreciate practical effects if it's possible. If you're going to cheapen it by doing it practically, then do it. Do it with CGI. But I like practical effects, so I respect Total Recall for what they were able to do. The scene on Mars, when he's like, it's great. I love it every time. Sharon Stone, yeah, I mean, come on, Sharon Stone's a stone cold fox. Number 14, Lethal Weapon 3. This is my favorite Lethal Weapon sequel because it gets the Riggs and Murtaugh right again. I don't, not that they were bad in part two, but in part three, you get back to the heart. And with Murtaugh retiring, Riggs has to. It's a dum dum wound, exactly. But with Murtaugh retiring, Riggs is faced with the fact that he's about to lose his brother, his best friend, and it's got a lot of heart. But at the same time, you pair them with a villain who is capable of beating them, and that's for me that's the difference. These movies are all about the villain, who are Riggs and Murtaugh going up against, and Jack Travis, I believe was his name, the dirty cop. He's fantastic. He was believable, sinister, evil, and you enjoy watching him get, laced with the cop killer bullets at the end. Yeah, Jack Travis. That's what I thought. Great sequence. The whole sequence at the end with the fire, and you're used to them fighting in the rain, so it was cool to see them fighting fire. That was a good moment. So I enjoy. Lethal Weapon 3 is my favorite of the sequels for sure. Number 13, The Fifth Element. I've heard a lot of people say that this movie is overrated. It's just like your opinion, man. I think this movie is great. I love everything about the. I mean, Bruce Willis is fantastic as Corbin Dallas, but this isn't even like his best movie. I think he just kind of exists in it. For me, it's everybody else in the Fifth Element that makes it so great. Obviously, Mila Djokovic is so. Yep. Anyway, she's great. Gary Oldman as the bad guy is absolutely amazing. Again, I didn't know that that was Gary Oldman for a long time. That dude can transform into any role. Also, the bad guy in The Professional, which is another thing that blew my mind when I found that out for the first time. That dude is so talented, unbelievable talent. Anyway, I'm getting off topic, but he's fantastic. I even like Chris Tucker as Ruby Rod, so he makes me laugh. Again, can be a bit obnoxious at times, but for the most part, it works for me. I enjoy The Fifth Element, and it's number 13 on my list here. All right. Number 12, another movie that I think wasn't appreciated when it first came out, and now folks are starting to realize how brilliant and ahead of its time it was. That's Demolition Man. Demolition Man, I mean, is has Wesley Snipes ever had more fun making a movie? I don't think so. I certainly don't. Maybe White Man Can't Jump, but this he's having such a good time in this film. He's the perfect bad guy. Again, he doesn't play the bad guy very often, so it's nice to see him as the bad guy. Stallone is great. I think this is one of his better performances. Again, not dramatic. This is not Rocky. This is not Creed. But he does a good job as John Spartan. What we got here? I agree. Great movie. Sandra, of course, Sandra. Man, she's great. Sandra Bullock. Demolition Man has always been my favorite slime movie. Who knew? Taco Bell's definitely going to win the food wars. You guys didn't know that? Taco Bell's going to come out on top. Soon, all restaurants will be Taco Bell. Number 11, True Lies. Like I said in my review, there might be one or two James Bond movies that I would pick over this. Other than that, this is my favorite like spy thriller movie of all time. I think that Arnold fits the bill. Obviously, he's believable in the role. He's believable as this superhuman spy that can do everything. And then you got Jamie Lee Curtis just killing it, killing it. Tom Arnold, he's hilarious. Tom exactly, exactly. Tom Arnold, is hit and miss, but in this movie, he's phenomenal. I love Tom Arnold in True Lies. Yeah, I mean, I struggled. I struggled. Once I got into, like, the top 10, this is where it gets tough because now we're talking about the top movies of 4 of my favorite actors. So, you're not wrong. This is where I started to really struggle, but I felt comfortable leaving True Lies just outside the top 10 because number 10 is Terminator. I couldn't put True Lies above Terminator because this is the movie that made Arnold Arnold. And I have a soft spot in my heart for horror movies. And I don't care what anybody says. This is a horror movie. Okay. This is an action horror movie. The Terminator is has a lot of slasher tendencies. So he's terrifying. He's scary. The stop motion effects are janky and it works. Arnold not being able to speak good English works. It's very unfamiliar. It's very eerie. And it's Jason with the yeah, exactly, exactly. It's the dead in the eyes, you know what I mean? It's when you look and you don't see anything, and that helps when you wear sunglasses, sure, but you're not seeing any humanity behind those eyes, and I know Arnold doesn't give a lot of credit for this role, but I think he did great. I think he number 9, again, now I'm probably gonna make some people upset because this is again, we're talking great movies here, but number 9 is Braveheart. I just watched this movie a couple days ago. It's really moving. It's a great story. Mel Gibson is perfection in this movie. The sets, the costumes, the action, the battles. There's a handful of moments that are just ingrained in like the zeitgeist of our pop culture. So this movie absolutely earned the Oscar it got, and I just I don't know why I'm not as big of a Braveheart fan as some of the other people. I mean, it's number 9, so obviously it's a great movie, but I know a lot of people would have probably put it, 1, 2, or 3. So, but it's gonna be number 9 for me. I love Braveheart. Number 8, Pulp Fiction. Okay. I love Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is not a Bruce Willis movie, even though it qualifies for Bruce Willis. He's in a lot of the movie. He plays a prominent role in the movie. But it's an ensemble piece. It's a Tarantino ensemble piece. You got a lot of different stories kind of interwoven together. Bruce Willis is in one of the most famous movie scenes of all time in this film, so obviously you got to give him a little bit credit for there. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of it's different genres melded together, and it becomes something completely unique. And I have a great time every time I watch Pulp Fiction. I haven't watched it in a couple years actually, so I need to fix that. So, Krista, we're probably going to watch Pulp Fiction soon. Anyway, moving on. Number 7, The Patriot. Royale with cheese. That's it. Number 7, The Patriot. And I like this one better than Braveheart because it's about America. Again, like I said in the review, regardless of how you feel about where we are, you still got to be proud that those men fought for us. They fought for our independence. We're here. We can do whatever we want. Okay, you have the right to sit here in front of a camera and say that the world's gone to hell. It's your prerogative. But the Patriot follows Mel Gibson. You know, as the ghost. I forget. I think his name is Benjamin. I drive Lonnie nuts with The Patriot. I can watch that movie multiple times in a row. Hey, The Patriot's great. The Patriot's great. Jason Isaacs is in that movie is one of the best villains of all time. I mean, God, how many women and children does he murder in that movie? Too many, too many. So, God, he's easy to hate. He's got one of those faces. You just want to give him a one right in the kisser. You do. You physically hate that man. And then at the end of the movie, you get the payoff. Great movie. Great movie. Patriot is a classic. I just watched it a couple days ago, and I'm ready to watch it again. Number 6, First Blood. Uh, until Creed came out, this was my favorite Sly performance. Just strictly uh, talking drama, emotion. Again, if you haven't watched Creed, Sly's brilliant in that. But before that movie, this was it. This was the truth. His breakdown at the end of the movie is iconic because of how real it felt. But before that, you get a lot of great moments, and this is not, you know, grabbing an M60 and firing it up into the air. This is a dude that's, just kinda trying to live his life. He gets harassed by a sheriff, runs into the woods in guerrilla style, shows these dudes they done fucked up, you know what I'm saying? So, it's a great movie. It's a lot of fun until the end, and then you realize just how messed up some of these guys are, and it's not their fault. They're trained to do one thing, and then you expect them to just come back and turn it off. So, hopefully, this movie helped a lot of people get the help they need and open some eyes to some real problems. That's again, I know we're not trying to get too deep here, but I do respect a movie that tries to bring to light a real problem. But anyway, number 5, Lethal Weapon. This is my favorite Mel Gibson movie by far, because I enjoy a little bit of humor with, my drama, and I know there is humor in Braveheart. I know there's humor in The Patriot, but for the most part, those movies are pretty sombering, pretty, they bring you back down a little bit. They make you appreciate things that you have. I like Lethal Weapon because, again, you're watching a man who's struggling with the loss of his wife, going through some terrible trauma. So it again makes you appreciate what you have, but then he'll turn around and he'll have you busting a gut 30 seconds later. So Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, they're amazing together. You got crazy ass Gary Busey as the bad guy. The fight on the lawn is iconic. So I gotta give love. Number 5, Lethal Weapon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The breakdown of Riggs. That's what I'm talking about. The moment where he actually puts the gun. I mean, there's a couple moments where you really feel for that guy, but that's the moment that I was talking about, where he's by himself, looking at the photo of his wife, and tries to kill himself or almost kills himself. It's tough. He's the name Riggs. That's a great name. I like that name as a name for a kid. I don't think that would be a bad call at all, man. You ever get another one, go for it. Number 4, Predator. Again, this is a movie that I wish I could put number 1, just because this is one of the first movies I remember watching. And before I even had taste, I liked Predator. I knew that watching a big giant man go into the jungle and fight a big giant monster, daddy like. Okay, I like that stuff. That's good stuff. So I've always been a fan of this movie. I remember every chance I got, I'd go in my room, throw on Predator, and watch it. Like Ryan said, 2 or 3 times in a row. I didn't care. I just liked watching the movie. And yeah, I mean, you got time to duck? God, there's a lot of really good, moments in that movie. Do you remember the name of the minigun? I'll give you a minute. Let me see if you remember the name of the minigun, but old Jesse the Body carrying around the old minigun. Oh god. But it's kind of a weird movie. I wish that I could have watched Predator as an adult for the first time, because if you didn't know what that movie was about, it's kind of interesting. You just see the infrared. They don't. I mean, I guess you do see the alien spaceship at the very beginning of the movie, but um, you don't really know what's going on until they finally reveal the predator. So I don't. Number 4, I'm gonna move on. Number 4, Predator. Number 3 is Rocky. Rocky. If you're talking just best pictures, could be number 1. It's one of the best made movies of all time for what they did back in that time. I'm so happy that Stallone insisted that he star in this movie. They tried to buy it from him. They threw a whole bunch of money at him. They tried to make him go away. It is. It's old painless. Old painless. Because obviously, if that thing lights into you, you ain't gonna feel shit. Old painless. Um, yeah, we're Rocky. Rocky. Yes. Of course, one best picture. I think it might have even won like best original screenplay or something like that. It's an acclaimed movie from top to bottom. There's nobody's going to deny that this is one of the best made movies on this list. But he loses at the end. He loses at the end. You don't get the satisfaction, so I can't quite put it up at the top, because unlike some of these other movies where the hero wins, Rocky does what he wants to do. He makes it to the end. He proves that he can go the distance. but it does sort of end on a little bit of a somber note, I suppose. Number 2 is T2, Terminator 2. I'm a little bit surprised myself that it didn't make it to number 1, but at the moment, I have one that's a little bit higher for me. But Terminator 2 is damn near a perfect movie. It's another 2-hour chase, actually more like 2.5-hour chase movie. And when you can create and craft a movie like that and keep it entertaining, that takes skill. Okay. You're not, the characters aren't going on a emotional journey, I guess. They're really going on physical journey, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say, other than it's a simple movie. Okay. It's just action. It's just, again, that scary beast that's coming towards you and it's not moving. Now he's all of a sudden he's fighting for you. And then you have the T-1000, Robert Patrick, ups the ante. What we got? Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I get emotional thinking about Licorice. Oh yeah, I mean that's definitely going to get a reaction out of me for sure. Uh, you're not wrong. It's an emotional journey because you are. I mean, John's learning how to become, I guess, the savior of mankind without even realizing it. Goddamn Tur! He's been here. I saw him. I need a vacation. Yeah, man, that movie, the end of that movie used to mess me up. When he drops down into the molten lava. And he gives, oops. I lost my I lost my all right, we're back. I lost my microphone for a minute. But yeah, when he drops him down, gives the thumbs up, it used to mess me up all day, every day. Okay. But if you've been following along at this point, you can probably figure out what number 1 is going to be. Die Hard. Die Hard at this particular moment is my favorite movie of all these 40 movies, and hell, it might be my favorite movie of all time at the moment. Again, it's that's a tough question. I was gonna talk about that today if nobody showed up or if I didn't end up working through this list. I was gonna talk about my favorite movies of all time because I've literally never tried to even figure that out. But Die Hard's definitely got to be on that list. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King's got to be on that list. Shawshank Redemption used to be my top movie. Infinity War would definitely be in that conversation. Revenge of the Sith, my favorite Star Wars movie, would definitely be in that conversation. But Die Hard is, in my mind, the perfect action movie because we can all see ourselves there. It's not a 6'5", 300-pound machine running through all these soldiers. It's a guy who's trying to reconnect with his wife and gets stuck in a really shitty situation and rises to the occasion. And again, like I said in the review, we all would hope that we'd be able to do something like that, save the ones we love, rise to the occasion, stop the bad guy. Me, I'm probably going to be cowering in the corner or trying to sweet talk the dude. Hans, baby, booby, what's up, man? That's probably going to be my play. I don't really know that I'm going to be John McClane shooting people in the face. I'll probably just try to talk my way. But anyway, Die Hard, it's a classic. I miss Alan Rickman so much. That dude was a blessing. This was his first movie, at least American movie, and I thought he killed it. So it's tough to beat that. It's kind of like when you talk about the Ravens and their first draft pick being Jonathan Ogden, their second draft pick being Ray Lewis. Kind of tough to beat that. It's kind of tough to have Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman both, as your leads in a movie. Tough to beat. You know what I mean? So Die Hard is going to be number 1 for me. And again, what I did was earlier I went through and I assigned points to these movies in order, and I added them all up. And I wanted to figure out. I didn't skew this in any way. Honest to goodness, just tried to rank these movies based off of how I felt. And not surprisingly, Arnold ended up coming out on top, mainly because of his 5 top movies. I think he had 5 movies in the top 15. Yeah, Total Recall, True Lies, Terminator, Predator, and T2. So that ended up being what put him over the top, those 5 movies. Mel ended up coming in second, mainly because of, I think, Braveheart, Patriot, and Lethal Weapon. But so you heard it here, folks, guys. At least in my opinion, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the greatest action star of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. He had the greatest peak, and he had the best movies from start to finish. As you move into the 2000s, there's certainly an argument to be made about who continued that. I think that Sylvester Stallone has made some of his best movies in the 2000s, and truth probably for some of these other guys too. I think Mel's had a couple of Hacksaw Ridge was a great movie that Mel had came out recently. So yeah, but let's see if I can catch up on any of this. If you watch the first one, and it's a great, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're not wrong, Ryan. You're not wrong. It's kind of an interesting, a best of the rest. Yeah. I mean, I could do that. I could do a best of the rest if there's enough interest because I wanted to talk about Jean Claude Van Damme. He's one of my favorites. He has some of my favorite action movies of all time. I also wanted to do. I mean, God, there's so many. Harrison Ford has got some great action movies. Indiana Jones movies, Star Wars. Uh, so he was in consideration. Tom Cruise has got some great movies. So Kurt Russell, absolutely, Kurt Russell would be in consideration. Even though I don't like the man, Steven Seagal, Under Siege, he'd probably have a movie on that list. So I could totally do a best of the rest if there was interest in that. But for now, I'm going to consider this done. This has been a hell of a journey. Keanu, man, Keanu, you're right. Unfortunately, Keanu's not going to get many of the Matrix movies. What Matrix 1 came out in 99, if I'm not mistaken. So he'd get the first Matrix movie. What he'd get Speed, he'd get Point Break. He'd have a couple great ones. He definitely would. He'd have a couple. That's a good call. If he had all the Matrix movies, well, I mean, I guess the first one. Oops. God, did y'all see the new one? Did y'all see the new one? Did you guys watch the new Matrix movie? Anybody? Am I the only fool? I feel like I'm the only fool that watched it. God, what a piece of dog shit. I'm sorry. I like Keanu Reeves. John Wick 4 was a masterpiece. Now there's something we could talk about. Y'all seen John Wick 4? Yeah, you John Wick 4 was a good time. I just watched that again. That was a lot of fun. You didn't even know there was a new Matrix? I mean, I say new, it came out like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever, but, it was released right to HBO Max back when COVID was going on and everything was getting, released direct to streaming. They did, same time as, the Mortal Kombat movie came out around that same time. The Kong versus Godzilla, came out at that same time, so it's a couple of years old by this point. You probably did fall asleep to it once. You probably did fall asleep to it once. It's not great. It's not great. Now Mortal Kombat was a good time. Mortal Kombat was, a good first movie, okay? They didn't give me enough, but they gave me a little bit to keep me interested. Hell, if you take the first 10 minutes of that movie away, I would give that movie like a 4 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10 just because of that opening sequence. I think I gave it like a 7 out of 10. Um, but uh, yeah, Kano was funny. Kano was fire. Kano had me rolling that entire time. I don't know that dude's name, but he's classic. That man was amazing. It was. It was. Mortal Kombat was insane. Mortal Kombat was fire. Uh y'all, who's seen the new Spider-Man? God, Tara, I know you didn't see it yet. You told me you were going this weekend. Man, has anybody seen the new Spider-Man? That's my dog. I think he wants out. Yeah. I thought she was going to show her face. Show everybody that my wife is way prettier than I deserve. Like magic? Yeah, no, yeah. You guys need to go. You guys need to go see that ride. You need to take Grayson like this weekend. Like, don't wait. Do not wait. Go see it. It's God. It might be my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. It might be one of the best superhero movies of all time. There is a sequence that took 4 years for them to make, and it shows. It's I tried to pick out every single Easter egg, and I lost count, and I'm pretty good at that shit, I have a pretty deep mind of especially Spider-Man. Spider-Man, one of my favorites, so big Spider-Man fan, um, and I took a lot of pride in finding all of the little Easter eggs, but they tie everything together. They really, the Sam Raimi movies get acknowledged in this one. The Amazing Spider-Man movies get acknowledged. So they're connecting everything. Not unlike what the MCU did with No Way Home. Now Sony is. It sounds like they're done fighting, which is thank God. Like, can we just get some good ass Spider-Man movies for the next 15 years and just stop bickering? Would your daughter sit through it? I guess that depends. Does she like constant, like, stimulation? Because it definitely there's not a lot of moments where something isn't happening. If that's what she needs to keep her entranced, then yes, absolutely, she would. Brinley would enjoy it. But if that's too much for her, if she likes a more subdued and slower movie, then no, because this movie is pretty nuts from Jump Street. Catching up on some of these Spider-Man movies. Which ones have you missed, homie? Which ones have you missed? Because if you haven't seen any of like the ones that came out in the last like 4 years, you're missing out. Spider-Man fans are spoiled right now. We've gotten three of the greatest Spider-Man movies of all time and two of the best Spider-Man games of all time. The new Spider-Man game's about to release, if it hasn't already, and I'm sure it's going to be freaking fire. I can't wait to play that. Which ones haven't you seen, Fry? You've seen No Way Home, right? And then Into the Spider Verse, the first one with PS5 exclusive. Damn, 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 damn. Well, I don't have a PS5, Terry. That's a shame. That makes me sad. Um, I'll get a chance to play it. You haven't seen either of the Spider Verse ones, okay? Then yeah, you should watch both. Watch the first one. Watch Into the Spider Verse first, and then watch Across the Spider Verse. You can watch them both, even if you don't want to pay for them. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, first one's fantastic, and I think the second one's even better. So might be recency bias. I don't know. We'll see. Couple years, we'll watch them both again, and we'll reevaluate. But for now, I thought the second one was phenomenal. I like the Spider-Man 2099 character. I think that he's badass. Yeah, yeah. I haven't asked my wife permission yet, but I'd love to go see it tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm I'm pretty excited to see the Flash. I definitely again, Michael Keaton's Batman to me is one of the most important and influential characters in my life. It's one of the first movies I remember watching as a kid. It's one of the first things that got me in love with cinema was watching the Michael Keaton Batman movie. And again, I know that the movie definitely has its flaws. Keaton Batman is tops. I don't know that I agree with that, but I definitely am nostalgic for it. There's so many great Batmans. I don't know that I could pick one. I definitely don't think that. What's up, Jay? How you doing, baby? We're talking about Batman's right now. We kind of segued. Now we're talking about Batman. My cousin Ryan just said Keaton Batman's the best. Asked me if I was excited about the Flash, and I am. I am definitely excited about the Flash. But man, best Batman. We talking Batman and Bruce Wayne or just Batman? Because if we're talking just Batman, it might be Affleck. It could be. I don't know. Sure as shit ain't freaking God. I'm having a brain fart right now. Christian Bale. Christian Bale was the worst Batman. In the best movies, he was in the best movies, but he was the worst Batman. Great Bruce Wayne. I think he's the best Bruce Wayne. Worst Batman. God, so bad. Um, but yeah, I think if I'm going best Batman, it might be was Bale worse than Clooney? Again, I think Clooney could have been good. Clooney's just the exact opposite. Clooney was in the shittiest Batman movie, and that's not his fault. I think Clooney could have been again, he was a really good Bruce Wayne, and I think he could have been an effective Batman. Again, great Batman. We have to see him in a better movie, but I'm not gonna fault George Clooney for that shit ass movie. That's what I'll say. I think that um, Christian Bale in Batman Begins was good, was fine, great. Dark Knight Rises. He got a little bit too much with the voice. Where's the trigger? Where is it? I just couldn't do it. I can't do it. Underrated is Kilmer. He's just yeah, and guys, have you seen that apparently okay, because I agree. Batman Forever is underrated. Kilmer was underrated as Batman, and I heard that Kevin Smith obtained a copy of the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever, the cut that Michael Schumacher wanted to make. Oh, Joel, I'm sorry, Joel Schumacher. I'm talking about fucking Indie Racer, I believe. Joel Schumacher wanted to create a darker, uh, more disturbed version of Batman, and we see, like, glimpses of that in Batman Forever, but they wanted to dive into that a lot more of the mental anguish and torment, and he said he's gonna review it, I think, like, maybe tomorrow, I think it was June 16th, if I'm not mistaken, so, if that's the truth, if we're about to get a Kevin Smith breakdown of the Schumacher cut excuse me, I've been I've been drinking a little bit. Mm. But if we're gonna get that, I hope that we can find a way. I mean, hell, we got them to make the Zack Snyder Justice League movie, which, by the way, was freaking phenomenal. Why can't we get them to make this movie for us? I want to see it. Shit, I want to see it. Let's do it. Um, I hope Pattinson gives an awesome Playboy in this new movie. I think he will, Jason. I do. I think that it was obvious that they had a direction they wanted them to go or wanted him to go, and he's new. Okay, he's new into it. He's still getting over, the trauma. It makes sense. It makes sense that he would still be sort of damaged and jaded and upset and angry. And this movie, The Batman, was about him finding out that it can't be all about vengeance, that he needs to be a symbol of hope. So I think that we're going to see a lot more of, like you said, the Pattinson playboy, because he's going to have to start living that duality. That's Batman, Batman and Spider Man. Uh, their duality, the fact that they try to live both lives, and it very seldom ever works out for them. That's the tragedy of both of those characters. Hot take on Batman out. That's not really a hot take. I think people are just superheroed out. I'm certainly Jokered out. I sure as shit don't want to see another Joker in my Batman movie. You can keep giving me different iterations of Batman all you want. I like this new direction they're going with Batman, more of the uh, detective side. And then you can give us. I don't care if you have two Batman movies going simultaneously. Give me more Batman. He's one of my favorite characters, but you can't give us the same shit over and over and over again. So if you're gonna have an action-oriented Batman movie, like you have with the Flash and whoever you're gonna have carry that mantle moving forward, and then this is supposedly a completely separate, world, and I'm okay with that too. And this is gonna be a little bit more on the slower end, more analytical. But I mean, if you can't tell me that that wasn't the best Batmobile scene of all time, man. When he booted up that Batmobile, all the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. I think I stood up and started cheering in the theater. That shit nuts. I love the dark turn on the turtle. Yeah, boy. Oh, you saw my shirt? Yeah. Look at that hotness. Wife just got me this. That's fresh. Yes, I am all about darker Turtles movies for sure. Because I think the first one is my favorite, and it's definitely the darkest Turtles movie for sure. I need a long break from Marvel, at least until there's big Jason, man, I'm getting there, homie. I really am. I'm never gonna completely abandon Marvel. I'm too far invested. I need to see where the story goes from here. And they're still putting out bangers, but they're not bulletproof anymore. There was a time where Marvel was bulletproof. Every movie they put out was a banger, and they're a victim of their own success. In that way, they've set the bar so unrealistically high that they can't achieve it every time. And again, that's okay. Make less movies. Make less movies. You want to make TV shows? That's cool. You want to make movies? That's cool. You can't give us 4 movies and 5 TV shows every year. I'm gonna get sick of it. I'm getting sick of it, okay? I can't keep track of all of it. I'm trying, I really am, and this is my job. I sit around and watch movies and shows all day, and I still have a hard time keeping up with everything. Um, but it doesn't mean I'm not gonna go see the next Marvel movie. It's just I'm a fanboy. I know it. I don't care. But I tell you what I am excited about, James Gunn's DC, whatever the hell they're gonna call it. I hope The Flash is amazing. I hope even the Aquaman movie that we have coming out that's gonna be the official end of the DCEU is amazing, but I'm excited for a hard reset, and James Gunn, he's probably the man to do it because he's one of my favorite living directors at the moment. I think that he has a unique ability to just pluck these ridiculous, obscure characters and make you fall in love with them. I mean, who the freak would have thought that Polka Dot Man was going to be, the highlight of the Suicide Squad, or that he was going to make us fall in love with a piece of shit like Peacemaker? They gave him his spinoff show, and now he's one of my favorite characters. So I think James Gunn is a brilliant, brilliant director, and I'm excited to see what he does. What we got here? The Thanos plotline was too good to be honest. There hasn't been a huge draw like Thanos since the saga ended. And, yeah, you're not wrong. It was supposed to be Kang. It was supposed to be Kang. It was supposed to be Jonathan Majors. At least after they saw his performance, I know that wasn't the initial plan, but then Jonathan Majors came in, blew their socks off with He Who Remains in Loki, and they completely retooled their future around that man. And now he's got all this shit going on, and I'm glad that they're not outright, cutting him off. Um, but they're pushing it back. They're pushing those movies back. They pushed Kang Dynasty back a year, I believe, and I think they pushed Secret Wars back another year. So they're trying, I guess, see how this all plays out. I don't really know what they're going to do, and if he ends up going to jail, I mean, talk about a hard pivot. They're going to have to make it up as they go, and you see how well that goes with Star Wars when they start making shit up as they go. It doesn't work out too well for us fans. So I'm hoping they don't go that route. It took too long to build up to him. Well, they took shit. How long did they take to build up to Thanos? So I think that if you do it right, I will admit they haven't given us enough teasers. We only had the one scene, the scene in Loki, and then the movie. But they took a long time to build up to Thanos, and that kind of helped, build the suspense. The scene, I forget what movie it was, where he puts on the gauntlet. Fine, I'll do it myself. We got couple little teasers of him, and then he showed up in Guardians of the Galaxy briefly, before he finally showed up in Infinity War. And when he showed up in Infinity War, we felt like we already knew him, sort of. We at least knew his motivation. We knew what he wanted, and I think that that's why I'm always more intrigued and entranced with villains, is because their motivation is always clear. You know what they want, you know what they're going for, and I like that. I'm a big villain fan. Obviously they can be diabolical. I'm not saying I agree with what they're doing, but a great movie lives and dies by the villain. The heel is you're yeah. Both of you are right. Both of you are right. Um, the heel is what makes the face. You know what I mean? Like, the Hulk Hogan would not have been, the icon that he was without Andre the Giant letting him pick him up and body slam, turning him into an icon. I mean, I don't know which one of them was the bad guy when you're doing the Mega Powers storyline, but I'm sure one of them was positioned as the bad guy, and that's what makes the hero. It's You're only as good as your villain. You're only as good as the person that's your foil is trying to stop you. You've got It's again, it's the reason I don't like Die Hard 2, or not Die Hard, Lethal Weapon 2 that much, is I don't think those delegates are that interesting. So that's not my bag. Oh, man. I can't believe y'all showed up. This has been great. I had a lot of fun. This has been a lot of fun. I wish I could have stuck to my initial plan. I don't know what happened. I was gonna have a split screen with the list so we could go over the list together. Probably would've been a little better for everybody, but that's okay. Let me see. What else do I wanna talk about? We got The Flash. What else we got coming up? We got any other badass movies coming up soon? Terry, what's the next wrestling pay-per-view? What's our next WWE pay-per-view? I'm seeing all these new freaking belts. Like, what's uh what's up with having two championships for the men and the women, and they're still calling one of them the undisputed championship? Oppenheimer, yes. Oh god, I love that's gonna be a great movie. That's gonna be a great movie. Jason, you're right. That's gonna be a good movie. Um, but Ryan, Terry, somebody explain to me what the hell what's the deal with having 2 champions, 2 belts, and one of them still the undisputed, like, title? Like, how the hell is Roman Reigns the undisputed champion when Seth Rollins has a title? How the hell is, Asaka or whatever her name, I'm sorry, uh, the undisputed women's champion when, Rhea Ripley has a belt too? I don't get it. I don't get it. Explain that to me. I don't understand. I don't watch enough wrestling. I do like the new belts though. I think they look cool. I think they look cool. Money. Money talks. Money definitely talks. Okay, so what the hell's the difference? The undisputed champ and the world champ. I know the world champ is supposed to be the working man's title, but I thought that was the IC title. I don't know. Anyway, Jason, I agree. I don't think that Oppenheimer is going to be a hit. I hope that it makes its money back. I hope that it's not a flop. Um, the general public doesn't care about history biopics like that, at least not in general, unless they're entrenched in like battle, like Braveheart and stuff like that. Those are the ones that typically I think do very well. But this movie is going to be interesting because you're talking about watching the story of the man who created the most devastating device in the history of the world. He changed not only warfare but just the world, balance of power in the world. So it's going to be an interesting watch. I'm excited. I'll tell you another one I want to watch is Tetris. They made a movie on the story of Tetris, and if you haven't read or heard about the insanity of getting the Tetris game made, you should definitely read up on it. And then I'm going to watch the movie. I think it looks like a lot of fun. I believe it was on Prime or Hulu. I can't remember, but something like that. So definitely, it's not wasn't what didn't go to theaters. It's on a streaming service. Um, but I think that's going to be a lot. Roman's the champion of the WWE and Rollins is the champion of the world. Okay. It's basically Hunter fixing the mistakes from yeah, I get it. I get it. We talked about watching Creed 3. We think they're gonna continue with his daughter. Yeah, we did talk about that. So, for those of you who have seen all 3 of the Creed movies, I had a theory. We'll see if it proves true. I think they're gonna continue the franchise, with Adonis's daughter, his deaf daughter, and kinda go the female boxing route. Since, and I don't mean this the wrong way, but we're all about inclusion now. We're trying to be very inclusive. So I have a sneaky feeling that that's the route the franchise is going to go. We're going to give the female boxers the shine, which I have no problem with. They got big shoes to fill because Million Dollar Baby is one of my favorite movies, not one of my favorite boxing movies, just one of my favorite movies. So if you're going to make a female boxing video or movie, you've got some big shoes to fill because that's a badass movie. I love Clint Eastwood. Shit, Clint Eastwood, that dude has had a whole second career. Gran Torino, Million Dollar Baby. Phew, what a talent that man is. HBO Max for Tetris. It could. I think it might be. I can't remember. I can't remember what streaming service it was. Trouble with the Curve. Yeah, 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 for sure. I mean, he's just been throwing out these amazing movies like It's been a while. I think he's retired now, but he had a nice little stretch there in the 2000s where he kind of came back to life and made some fantastic movies. Again, Million Dollar Baby, that's a great one. Babushka, what's he call her? What's he call her in that movie? Babushka, something like that. Mamushka, I can't remember. God, that's a good movie though. Boxing movies are just special. God, there's something about boxing movies because Million Dollar Baby is great. Cinderella Man is another one of my favorite movies, the one with Russell Crowe. And you want to talk about movies that make you appreciate what you got? That movie will make you go, you know, pour a little bit of milk back in the jug and then water it down a little bit and be like, damn, I'm lucky. So, what else we got, fools? It's Thirsty Thursday. Jason, I think you didn't join in before I asked. Have you seen the new Spider-Man movie? Tell me that you've seen the new Spider-Man movie. Um, what else is coming up? Oh, obviously, Good Burger 2. Duh. Got Good Burger 2 coming up at the end of the year. You've been on vacation. Where'd you go, bro? Where'd you go? What you doing? Go to the beach? Should have came to Georgia. Well, you've seen the first one. I would imagine if you've seen Into the Spider Verse, you know kind of what it's all about. It's I'm not going to spoil it because I know Terry hasn't seen it either. You saw the first one with me and the first Good Burger. Did we go to the movie theater to see that? God, we probably did. Man, we were just babies. We was just babies. Why'd they wait 20 years to make a sequel? That's my question. Oh yeah, money. That's probably the answer to most things. Why are things the way they are? Money. Nostalgia, yeah. Is there a more powerful thing right now? Hollywood is milking that for all it's worth. I mean, they're getting my butt in the seat tomorrow, so I can't really hate on them too much. Nostalgia is going to get me in a movie theater seat tomorrow to see Flash. I am going to do a theater reaction, so there will be a release tomorrow. I'll give you a spoiler free reaction, and then if I get a chance, if my son will allow it, I would like to maybe do a short review Saturday morning. Hitting all of us millennials, man. That's my target audience. I can't hate them. That's who I'm zeroing in on. Where's all my 25 to 35 peeps at? Woo! Yeah, that's my number one audience, and I'm zeroing in on it. Uh, but you have a lot of disposable, income, millennials. uh, we are only 35 for a few more weeks. Yeah, brother, don't get me started, man. Why you gotta talk like that? We're supposed to be having fun. Why are you talking? I'm 30, son. 35 times over. Mm. Sorry, I feel good. I feel better than I ever have. I'm extremely blessed. I get to sit here, talk to you fine people every day, talk about movies for a living, do what I love to do. I'm living my best life. I can't complain. Oh my. Oh my. Oh, for those of you who didn't hear, they kicked up Deadpool 3. So one of the good things about the Marvel reshuffle is we're no longer getting Deadpool 3 at the end of next year. They kicked it up, I believe, to May. So we're less than a year away from Deadpool 3. Now, Jason, that movie is going to break a lot of records. I don't know what it's going to do. It's still a rated R movie. I know rated R movies can struggle a little bit at the box office because there's just not um, can't get everybody in the movie theater to see it. But get out of here. Got a little gnat that's trying to kill me. Anyway, I think I don't know, what's the highest grossing, um, R-rated movie of all time? Is it Deadpool 1? I'm gonna look that up real quick. I think it's Deadpool 1. Let me look that up for me. Where's my moderator at? Ryan, highest grossing R-rated movies of all time. Oh, it's Joker. No, I was wrong. It's Joker. Joker made over 1,000,000,000. It was Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 made 786,000,000. Deadpool 1 made 782,000,000. Damn, they made almost the same amount of money. I guess we all just went back and saw the movie. Every single one of us. Uh, but yeah, Joker. Joker was the number one R-rated movie. So that's the number it's gotta beat. I don't know. I mean, you got Hugh Jackman though. Is Hugh Jackman the wild card? Is Hugh Jackman coming back and playing Wolverine one more? Because Logan is number 7 by itself. So I mean, in theory, you've got Logan at 7, you've got Deadpool 1 and 2 at 3 and 2. You would think it would have a chance, right? You think it's gonna break it? I think it's got a shot. Now that I'm looking, I'm thinking about it, you know what? Shit. You got Hugh Jackman coming back to play Logan one more time. Obviously, Ryan Reynolds, that dude could charm the pants off fucking Hitler. I don't know. That man is something special. I don't get it. I don't get it. How can you be that good looking and that talented? It's not fair. Huge jacked man gets it done. I agree. I agree. I agree. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say bold take. Probably not even a bold take. It's probably gonna break the $1 billion mark. And if it breaks that $1 billion mark, it's gonna break Joker for sure. Yeah. He does have a phenomenal singing voice. Again, freak that dude. Screw Hugh Jackman. How can you be so handsome, so good looking, so funny, and you can sing and dance? That's not fair. Okay? That's not that's not fair. You freaking that. That's not fair. You know what I mean? You ain't supposed to be able to do that. God, Terry, we need to do karaoke and sing that song that they do in Greatest Showman. Other side. I know the other guy's part. You can do Hugh Jackman's part. I'll even get up on the table and dance a little bit. I got you. Top 10 R-rated movies grossing all time is something. Yeah, are you looking at the list, Rye? Yeah, quick, I'll give everybody a quick top 10. Top 10 highest grossing R-rated movies of all time. 50 Shades of Grey is 10, Hangover Part 2 is 9, Passion of the Christ 8, Logan is 7, Detective Chinatown 3 is 6, It, the 2017 It is 5, Matrix Reloaded for some freaking reason is number 4. I guess people thought it was gonna be good. And then Deadpool is 3, Deadpool 2 is 2, and then Joker's 1. So that's yeah, that's an interesting list for sure. Hmm. Does Hugh die in this movie to finally let the torch pass to whoever's next? I mean, no, I don't think they're gonna kill him. I don't think they're gonna kill him. What you can do here is you can bring in a variant. You can bring in a variant. You don't have to kill this version of Wolverine. They've already done that. We've already seen it. I don't want to see it again. So I'm gonna say no, just wishful thinking. And maybe they just retire his character gracefully, and maybe they bring in a variant, a Wolverine variant. And that's something that I think most people could get on board with. Obviously we want to see Hugh Jackman around for the rest of our lives, but that's just not practical. So I'm hoping that something like that happens and we can, like you said, bring the X-Men into the MCU, bring the Fantastic Four proper into the MCU, and really start building to some guys like Galactus. I mean, come on. I want to see Galactus. That's probably the only thing that's gonna top Thanos is build to Galactus, a literal universe conquering being. So that's probably the route that I think they should go if this whole Kang dynasty thing falls through. I guess we'll see. There you go. That's a good idea, Terry. If that little girl is interested in carrying the claws, then let her make a movie, I'm okay with there being a female Wolverine character, and she was badass as, like, what, a 10-year-old, so imagine, like, a 20-year-old X-23. Yeah, for sure. Bringing in the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, that's what they need to do. I know that they're trying to do it tastefully and slowly, and if anything, they'll recast Kang, and they can. That's the beauty of where they are, in the situation is they can easily recast Kang. I hope that they don't. I hope that this is all bullshit. I really truly do. I'm a at least for now, a big Jonathan Majors fan. I think that if MCU is relying on him, then they're in good hands. But if he really is a piece of shit and did all the things that they say he did, then he's better off fucking off somewhere else. And we'll, like you said, we've recast him or we just pivot another way. It doesn't, it's, I'm not going to stop tuning. I've already said that and I mean it. I'm in it for the long haul, but that doesn't mean other folks will. So I'm hoping that they can keep the quality up, find a way to bring again, I don't say casuals as a degrading term, but bring people that aren't as obsessed with me like I am, back into the theaters to see these movies because at the moment, I feel like the only folks that give a shit anymore are guys like the, you know, my man AJ, nerds doing nerd things, guys like us, guys that eat and breathe this shit. You know what I mean? So, and people that are tuning in, I want to drop a shout out to my man AJ, nerds doing nerds things. It's a great podcast. He's a very like minded individual, has great opinions, speaks his mind, and that's not something that you get a lot. So, uh, I'll drop a link in the video once I post this. But go over and check him out. Subscribe. I don't know when he does his releases, but again, fantastic human being and a great YouTuber. So definitely check him out. We got you're talking Marvel now. Yeah, that's right. I like Jonathan Majors. I do too, man. Is DC keeping Ezra Miller or is this it? I thought this was it because I was under the impression that Ezra was done. They were disassociating. I mean, shit, they almost didn't release the movie. At least that's what I heard. I heard they were talking about not even releasing the movie. So I feel like they've tried to distance themselves from him as much as possible for a movie that was already shot. And I don't think he's going to get another chance to play the Flash, at least not in this universe. Uh, yeah, Johnny Depp, that dude got screwed. And again, talk about another movie that could be a big hit. They're missing the fucking boat if they don't make another Pirates movie starring him right now. Don't wait 3 years because all the shit's gonna die down. People are already, forgetting about all the Johnny Depp Amber Heard shit. But back then, they were fucking no press is bad press. So now that he's free and clear of all that nonsense, throw that dude back in a Pirates of the Caribbean movie and make another $1 billion because I'll go see WB's Two Faced. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's all about that freaking money, home. Okay. So, Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, live episodes every Thursday. We have fun episodes Tuesdays every once in a while. Sounds good. And he and I have discussed doing some collabs. So, we're going to do some, stay tuned for probably some Marvel DC content coming out soon. So, very excited about that. Very excited about that for sure. Petitioning. Hey, Billy Hargrove. Okay. Is that real, Jason? Is that real? Because I'd be down for that. Who's all right? Jonathan Majors? Is that who you're talking about, Ryan? Man, was it that long ago? I thought Ezra Miller was like acting a fool like just this past like year and a half, like literally like, telling people off. Wasn't there like a video of him like screaming at some lady doing karaoke or something. I thought that happened like just within the past like year or two. Well, the wrestling guru, Ryan, you know, brother, if I ever do a wrestling video, you know that you're the one that I'm calling. You know that you're gonna be right there beside me. I'm gonna have you on one side, and I'm gonna have Terry Signs on the other side, and it's gonna be a clash of the freaking titans. We got an old school fan and a new school fan, and I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I'm gonna be the moderator. I ain't even gonna say shit. I'm gonna sit here and smile because I don't know squat about wrestling. I'm the most casual wrestling fan you'll ever see. I tune in just to see some flippy flips and awesome stuff. And again, I know that it's more about the story, but I don't watch enough to get into the story. So I'm really just there for dudes running up the ropes and doing flips and landing on guys on the outside of the apron. I don't know. When did that become such a hot spot? I feel like that's the it move these days. It's like laying somebody on the outside of the ropes on the apron and then like doing some weird trick and slamming them there. Like that's I've seen that a lot now. I mean, I get it. It works. It works. Yeah. Ryan, Terry, Ethan is obsessed with wrestling now. Obsessed. I made him watch the Royal Rumble with me when we were at the beach, I believe, or WrestleMania. It was WrestleMania. I made E watch WrestleMania with me when we were at the beach. Or I didn't make him. He wanted to, and he had a blast. He was in it. He was screaming. He had such a good time. So I told him I was going to watch the next WWE pay per view with him. So you can't get G into it, really, man. That's surprising. But he likes NASCAR, right? So you got him into your other love. You at least got him into your other love. Yeah. Okay. That's right, Terry. That's right, Terry. My boy, he knows what's up. He knows what's good. Your girl likes the females. He told me Brinley likes to watch the girl wrestlers. Her girl's the champ now. Mm. AJ, what is your current top three MCU movies as it stands right now? Terry, Ryan, anybody, Jason, feel free to comment. My top three right now, as it stands. Again, Infinity War is definitely number one for me. That's still my favorite. Then immediately use the ring Scott. That's that's funny. Um, yeah, number one for me is definitely Infinity War. Number two is probably Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and then three is either Endgame or Civil War. I don't know yet. I don't. That's probably pretty close to where I'm at. Three Civil War, two Endgame, one Infinity War. Number one. I'm waiting with bated breath. I can't wait to see. Tell me what it is. Endgame, Winter Soldier, Infinity War. Jason, that's probably me, baby. Endgame might be Civil War. I don't know. Endgame's a tough watch. God, it's a tough watch. Uh, I almost just turn on Terry's the one who introduced me to this life hack, and I do it almost every time I watch the movie now. I turn Endgame on right when um Tony and Thor and Cap are all getting up to go down and challenge Thanos, and I watched Infinity War. I knew it, and I watched. When they walk down, you just see their boots. I watched that whole scene up until the snap, and then once Tony snaps, I usually turn the movie off. I don't feel like crying today, folks, so I'm not gonna watch my favorite character of all time die in front of me. That was a tough watch. It's still a tough watch, but it's no denying Freak, man. I mean, could you have imagined in a million years that they would create a movie like that and actually stick the landing? Like, I, there will never be a piece of cinema like that ever again because you can't it's already been done. And now that it's already been done, everything else that happens will always be second best. At least in my opinion, because there's something special about the first time and waiting almost 10 years for that payoff. They built it perfectly. It was all new. The stories were new. We're meeting the characters. And then you bring them together to face arguably the greatest villain in MCU history or Marvel history in Thanos. You're never going to recreate that. I'm thankful that I was a part of it. And I'm a little bit sad that I'll probably never get to see anything quite like that ever again. I hope I'm wrong. I will be the first one to march right on the screen and tell you, you know what? I was wrong. That was just as badass as Endgame. But they told us it was going to be Quantumania, and that was not anywhere as close to as badass as Endgame. The closest one was probably Far From Home, and again, that's just nostalgia. That's just the fact that you throw both of our previous Spider-Man back into the fray, and you just tickle my nostalgic bone. Endgame, Winter Soldier, Infinity War. I'm seeing a lot of Mr. Stark. I don't feel so good. Oh, bro, don't do that to me, AJ. Come on, man. Don't start. You know what makes that so tragic is that little guy knew what was coming before it happened. You know, his spider sense made him aware of what was going on, and that makes it so bad. Just thinking about what he was going through. That movie makes me cry in like four places that wouldn't work for me. Yeah, no, I mean, bro, the opening sequence with Hawkeye will get you tearing up, and then all the shit with Iron Man in the first 15 minutes will get you tearing up. That movie's as great as it is. It's a tough watch. It's a tough watch. Bald when Cat picked up the hammer, bro. Yeah, come on, God, that's such an epic moment. Seeing Infinity War at the movies and the whole place reacted to it. Yeah, I don't know if I enjoyed. Well, you know what I do. I enjoyed watching Infinity War a lot more in the theater than Endgame, simply because I didn't cry. uh, if they get Galactus or Doom right, they could recreate it. You're not wrong. Those are the only two bad guys that are even in the same stratosphere as Thanos. So, especially Doom. Freak man, if they could nail Doom right, and it's you can't throw him out there at full fucking god doom because everybody knows that that man finds a way to become the best in the world every single time. But you got to start from just the regular scientist Doom, convert him into the bad guy Doom, and then let him give him the freaking gauntlet. I don't care, dude. It's there's so many great stories with him. Sometimes we all need a good cry. You're not, hey, you ain't wrong, but I don't usually like it with my superhero movies. I won't watch The Green Mile, and you can't make me. That man is dead in real life, and I'm not going through that. I ain't. You saw what Fast 7 did to me, or Furious 7. God, I hadn't seen any of the new ones for a while, and I watched Furious 7 again, and yeah, I wasn't ready for that. Adam Driver should be Doom, and no one can change my mind. Fucking second, third, fourth, I'll take it all day. But you put Adam Driver in any movie, and I'm gonna go see it. I watched that 65 movie with him, and you put anybody else in that movie, and it's remarkably mediocre. It's still pretty mediocre, but I like him a lot. Yeah, yeah. It's not just the movie. It is the song. It is the song. That as soon as they were on the beach and those notes started to hit, my wife looked over at me and I was already starting. And damn, I shouldn't have said anything, but I think I started talking. And as soon as I started talking, it just whoo, it was bad. It was bad. Anyway, I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm not sad. It is about family. When you got a family, it just messes you up. I just think he makes way more sense as Doom. As Mr. Fantastic, yeah, I don't want him as Mr. Fantastic. I don't. I heard that. I don't want him as Mr. Fantastic. I think that he'd be a better Doom. Honestly, yeah, that's I hadn't thought about him playing that character, but we've already seen how effective he is behind the mask, so I think he could do great. Great, great things. Did, uh did any of you all see the new I mean, we're talking about Fast and Furious. Did any of you guys see Fast X? Does anybody care about the new ones? Certain movies do hit different as a dad. Certain movies definitely hit different as a dad. When you have a kid and you watch any kind of movie, um, where there's, a child that dies or a child that gets sick, it just hurts you. It just hurts you because you can put yourself in that position, and is there any worst feeling or worst, thing than imagining your child getting hurt? Yeah, Ryan, I agree. I agree. I had completely lost faith in the franchise after 8 was not good, but 7 was offensive. I didn't think that the John Cena thing worked. Um, how the hell do you have a long lost brother that you've never talked about, even once? Yeah, I agree, AJ. I agree. I think Black Adam flopping and The Rock kind of getting humbled a little bit. I don't know if this was all in the works before that, but it certainly probably pushed it to the forefront of his mind is, hey, I should probably mend some fences and go make some good money. I'm not saying the man's broke, but he's in dire need of a couple really good hits. And if you attach yourself to the Fast franchise, I mean that's when they hit their peak. When The Rock jumped in, Fast Five, amazing. Fast Six, really good. Fast Seven, probably best in the franchise. And then you kick him out. I like Hobbs and Shaw. I think that both of those guys are fantastic. Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw for sure. I hope they get a sequel. I'd watch a sequel to Hobbs and Shaw for sure. Oh, you'll get it. Right, you'll get it. You really think he's dead? You really think he's dead? Did you see a body? Did you see a body? I know he was in a fiery explosion, but did you see a body? He dead. Okay. He's coming back, and you're gonna get your Rock and Cena. They're probably gonna have a moment where they might even fight. I don't know how they spin it, but they'll find a way. They'll find a way. He ain't dead. Shit, they brought freaking what was her name? Giselle. What was her name? Wasn't that her name? Gal Gadot's character. Like she fell out the back of a freaking airplane running full speed down a tarmac, and she's fine. She's piloting a nuclear sub now. That's a skill that you can learn overnight. She probably read a book, went on YouTube. What should I do next? What should I do next? Because now I'm done my action hero series. So now I need something else to sink my teeth into. What do you all want to see? Can also take a car to space. I mean, you can take anything to space. It's the whole surviving thing that I have a problem. I mean, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, both of those had crossed my mind. I thought about doing a Harry Potter binge because um, my wife hasn't seen all of the Harry Potter movies, so we made it, I think, to 5 or 6, and we stopped. So I've seen them all, but so I was thinking about doing Harry Potter. I was also thinking about tackling these guys, but I'm intimidated because that's my dude. These guys, they're my guys. I'm a little intimidated to start tackling some of my favorite horror movies. So since you're wearing the shirt, rank the Turtles movies. Okay, Jason, that's a great idea. When did I lose you, Rye? I lost you with what? Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. Turtles. All right, fair enough. Rank the Turtles movies or do individual reviews of the Turtles movies? Probably just ranking, because who wants to fucking talk about Turtles 3? God, I don't want to talk about that movie for even 5 minutes. Both. Ah, okay. I mean, I could do that, I suppose. We did. I mean, bro, I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't watch Turtles 3 religiously as a child, but I was an idiot. Okay. I didn't realize how stupid it was. Movie's bad. You want to hear me? Ah, Jason, I appreciate it, buddy. You know what? I'll do it. Do it for you. Okay, guys, it's happening. I'm going to do individual Turtles movie releases. All of them are just live action. I got to do the cartoons too. I can do the fuck it. I'll do the cartoons too. Shit. It'll be fun. And then I'll rank them. It'll be a good time. Yeah. Yeah. 3 is awful. And I am going to die a little bit inside. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm prepared. I'm ready. This is what I signed up for. Yeah, yeah, that's what's gonna save me, is I get to talk about the cartoons too. So, um, man, I watched a really good animated Turtles movie with Ethan not too long ago. I forget what it was called. It was really good. Cartoon. The Shredder scene at the end of 1. Oh, that's the goat, bro. That sequence from the moment that they climb up there and he's just standing there, he's just so badass. Oh God, I love that movie. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Take a ride on my little love sheet, baby. Woo! Casey Jones. Yeah, I agree. I do think the new Turtles animated movie looks good. I think it's gonna be badass, in my opinion. When's that coming out, Jay? Is that soon? When's the new Turtle movie coming out? Because I could also time it around that and try to release it around that time and then include that one in the rankings too. Is that coming out soon? Jose Canseco back? Tell me you didn't pay money for this. Oh, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't like that. He didn't like that too much. uh, all right. So is Turtles 2 better than Turtles 1? I don't think so, but I'm sure some people probably do. August 2nd. Okay. All right. So I can't do Turtles yet. I gotta wait. August 2nd. Yeah, and that's always the debate is the movie objectively better? Sure. Which one do you enjoy more? If the answer that's 2, that's fine. I think that number 1 is a better movie for sure. But it's got some heavy moments, some really sad moments. Whereas number 2, man, you're just gonna smile and cheese that entire flick. So I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that. I sure as shit know that I had plenty of movies on my top 40 that were objectively better or worse, and they weren't in that right order. It's for me. It's also about how I feel. In that particular moment where I'm at. Combat cold cuts, and next time I'll use mustard. So many great quotes. Ugh. All right, so Turtles ain't gonna work. We gotta wait until August 2nd to do Turtles, or at least I'll time it so that I'll start it in July so that I can finish around the time the new Turtles movie comes out. So thank you for that. That's what I'm gonna do in July, but I need something to do for the rest of June. I guess I could do the Spider-Man movies. I mean, that would be That would be logical since I'm gonna go see a Spider-Man movie or I'm talking about Spider-Man. Summertime, do a rank of top 10 summer blockbusters. That's there's an idea. There's an idea. Gotham was a good show, AJ. I liked Gotham for a long time. Now, it lost me towards the end. I will be honest, it lost me towards the end, but I like and same thing with Flash. Same thing with Flash. Arrow was pretty solid for most of its run. Flash got ridiculous. Oh my god, Flash got ridiculous. I watched the finale. That was a joke. I'm sorry. That was a joke. That was silly. But Flash was really good. Flash was at the start was really good. Gotham again was really good. I thought that everybody that they picked to play the various rogues gallery in Gotham was phenomenal. Summer blockbusters did used to be a thing. That I mean that used to be like prime time. If you got your movie released in July or August, you were the shit. Now it's more like May. Now it seems like at least I mean that's Marvel. Marvel's always trying to pump something out in May and June for sure. Yeah, rank the Transformers movies. Okay, I could do that. That's an idea too. That's an idea. There's a new I mean the new Transformers movie either just came out or is about to be out. I loved Beast Wars, man. Did you all watch Beast Wars, the cartoon? That was a lot of fun. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I think I might do that one too. Indiana Jones movies, man, that's too easy. Shit. One and three. One's number one, three's number two, Temple of Doom's number three. Next, complete Jurassic Park review. Just the first movie, because that's the only one that's really worth talking about. Okay, I could do that too. I could do that. Yeah. I don't know that I want to talk about Lost World Part 3, but it's a popular franchise. I could probably do that. Jurassic World was good. Fallen Kingdom was shit, and Dominion made that one look even better somehow. I don't think that was possible. The whole series, that's plenty to talk about. That's for sure. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. 6 movies and then rank them. Don't dismiss, elaborate on what your thoughts are. Oh, I mean, what can I say about Indiana Jones that hasn't already been said a billion times? It's amazing. But you're not wrong. I could elaborate. New Mission Impossible coming out. Yeah. God, there's a series that literally just got better. Like the first movie's okay, second movie's okay. The third one I like because of Philip Seymour Hoffman. I miss that dude. I miss Philip Seymour Hoffman so much. He was one of my favorite actors. But then after that, 4, 5, and 6, man, they're so good. They figured it out. They figured it out, and I'm absolutely going to turn into the new Mission Impossible, the two-parter. I mean, I know they're doing a two-parter, so I'm pretty pumped about that. I think that's gonna be a badass movie. You never watched a single one, Rye? Which one are you on? Because again, listen to what I just said. If you can make it through the first 2 or 3, you're in fucking gravy land, baby. 4, 5, and 6, they're some of the best action movies of all time, and then you're talking you've got Tom Cruise actually out there doing this shit. I mean, he's the last, like, we talk about like last remaining rock stars in the world. He's one of the last remaining action stars, movie stars is out there, and he's insisting on making his movies for the big screen. So I appreciate that about that man for sure. Top 10 and why? Yeah, there's a challenge. There's a challenge. Again, like I told you, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King specifically would be on there. Infinity War would be on there. Shawshank Redemption would be on there. Die Hard, T2, um, could throw a handful of Star Wars movies on there, but I like to do just one from each, franchise if I can, and Revenge of the Sith is and probably will be my favorite Star Wars movie of all time, so that would be on there for sure. Ah, so now you're making it even more ridiculous. I can't do 15 or 20. Goodfellas, Jay, man, I know you love your mob movies, baby. Goodfellas is good shit. Goodfellas would be in my top 10, guaranteed. Ghostbusters, absolutely, AJ, absolutely. Talking the first one, absolutely. I like the sequel. Ghostbusters 1 would be in my top 10 for sure. For sure. Absolutely. Uh, maybe Jaws. I like Jaws. Talking about summer blockbusters. There's the original summer blockbuster. Top westerns. Shit, Tombstone, Wyatt Earp, High Plains Drifter, Untouchable. So many good ones. My old grandpappy, he was a big Western fan, and he used to take me on trips with him. He used to drive a truck. He'd take me with trips with him, and we'd stay in hotels and we watch old spaghetti westerns all the time. I've seen Man with No Name. I've seen them all. I've seen them all. Shawshank number two. I mean, if you're talking Goodfellas one, Shawshank two, that's a hell of a top two, man. I can't argue with that. I won't argue with that. Uh, what else do I love watching? I don't know. Krista, what else do I love watching? Westerns every day. You know it. You know it. That's all you watched. You went to one TV, you had a Western on. You went to the other TV, it was a soap opera. You couldn't find a free TV in grandma's house for days. Mm. Did I do Batman? I did Batman 1. I did Batman 1989 in preparation for Flash. I was considering doing the Batman series. I watched Batman Returns and freak, man, I forgot how much I disliked that movie, and I didn't wanna declare that for the world because 'cause I've already made enough controversial declarations today. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Batman Returns. I don't think it's that good. But if I could skip that one and talk about Batman Forever, I'm down. You're damn right, man. That's all that was on those TVs. Freaking westerns and soaps all day, every day. I know I can rank them however I want, but I have to get through Batman Returns, and, god, that would just be a trudge. And other than the iconic performances from Danny DeVito and Michelle Pfeiffer, I mean, those 2 are what most people think of when they think of Catwoman and, the Penguin. Other than that, I thought everything else was pretty terrible. So, too many villains, classic Spider-Man 3 problem. Should've picked one or the other. It would've been a hell of a lot better movie. Don't give Tim Burton creative freedom, maybe? I know McDonald's was pissed. Yeah, that's how I try to do that. I try to rank them based on how they make me feel, while at the same time not completely dismissing, their importance to the greater, world. So, there are certainly movies in my ranking that would be higher and or lower if it was just me, and maybe I should do that moving forward, just say damn to everything and just literally rank them based off of me. But again, if that was the case, I'd have a lot of shitty movies at the top of my list. So I don't know. I do love the Spider-Man franchise. I think that that's not a bad idea. Go ahead and start with the Raimi trilogy, the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy, and the across the. That'd be tough. That'd be tough. I'd hate to put, you know, all those live action movies under which Spider-Man franchise is the best? I mean, as it stands, Into the Spider-Verse is the best. Now, I'm a huge fanboy for the Raimi trilogy. That stuff came out when we were what, Ryan? We were like 12. I remember going to the theater to see that Spider-Man movie for the first time, and that was like an event for us. But Andrew Garfield was great as Spider-Man, in my opinion, but his movies again were okay. But Into the Spider-Verse, both of those movies are perfect. So, guys, I've been holding my pee for about an hour and a half. I'm gonna go pee real quick. If you guys leave, I completely understand, but I am gonna come back. I'm gonna keep talking. If you guys want to stay, give me 2 minutes. Do not go in there. Ugh. Whew. All right, what do we got? I gotta catch up. Give us top 10 from top 4 action stars. Give us the worst. Oh, that's a great freaking move. That's a great idea, Rye. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I remember the song from the first set of Spider-Man movies more than the movie Hero by Chad Kroeger. You're not wrong. And they say that a hero can save us. Yeah, that's good shit. To this day, I don't know how that song made a Spider-Man. Hey, it was catchy as shit, okay? It was everywhere. When that song came out, you're not wrong. It was catchy. Everybody was watching that. Snap. Nothing's happening. Just grabbing a soda. Don't listen to anything happening right now. he's 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 not. Yeah, he ain't talking about swinging. And we were singing that shit. We were like 13 years old talking about being so high we could see heaven. No idea what the hell we were talking about. Yeah, you're not wrong. Oh man. I like the idea of doing top 10 worst movies, but I don't want to talk about shitty movies all day. I like talking about good movies. I gave you an idea. Okay, all right. Jim Carrey top 10. Man, that would be tough. Krista actually had that idea. Krista told me I should do a Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler. Freaking Ben Stiller. We were talking about Ben Stiller, Will Ferrell. I mean, there's so many great comics, so many great movies. I don't even know where to begin, to be honest with you. I like the idea of doing the Jim Carrey though, because it would switch it up, do something a little funny. Oh, this damn Coke. Coca Cola. Oh, I'm sorry. I love you so much. Oh, AJ, what's your first Marvel video going to be about? You already have an idea? I'm dying. And I might need to talk with you about OBS. I know you're a pretty big OBS master. I was trying to set something up and it didn't work. I'm gonna try again tomorrow. You have about 25 videos, a whole MCU. Okay. Planned or already in existence? Yeah, you're not wrong, Krista. I should probably switch genres. I've done horror, I've done action. Oh, gotcha. You already got a bunch already out there. Okay. Which, yeah. Well, you use Streamlabs now. You have to pay for that though, right? That's not free. That's useful. That's useful. I like the whole free thing though, so I'm probably gonna stick with OBS for now. But if I get to the point where I have enough people tuning in, maybe I'll check out Streamlabs. But for now, 150 a year. I mean, shit. And you have your merch store through that? Because that's not bad. That's a pretty good deal. Damn. Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to look into it. Trying to get a entertainment shirt. If somebody would make me one, Krista. Okay, and they make it for you? If somebody places an order, they make they you don't have to do anything? Because hell, I was ready to start cracking the whip and have my wife start making shirts and shipping them to you guys on a per order basis. But if you're telling me that they could help us alleviate some of that burden, I do have a sponsor. Woo! iRacing, baby. Stop wrecking though. I need you to win. Give me a dub. I appreciate that, homie. Krista has a cricket too. We just, man, we tough to find time sometimes. I'm sure you get that. We got to make some shirts for our son's birthday party. Oh, I know it's not. I'm just fucking with you. But if I got behind the wheel of that car and tried to do that iRacing, you would see all of you guys going around really fast, and then there would be that one car like grinding the outside wall the entire time, and I would just be determined to finish and not wreck. Nice. Ethan says I am amazing. He's my son. He's supposed to say that. You should be in bed. Y'all can go whenever you want. I'm pretty sure it's just my wife and you Ryan and you AJ in here. It's the summertime, Dad. I'm having fun too, boys. I'm having a good time. I just like talking movies with people that actually care and have opinions. So I'm having a good time. I normally talk to myself, floating head status. I get to do this all day. I talk to myself and pretend like I'm not going crazy, and then I get to edit it all. Just talking heads, just me. It's so fun. Nice. Oh yeah, Jay's still here. I forgot about Jay. My bad, Jay. Homie. Yeah, bro, we're gonna have to go to a show, man. I know even if your boy don't want to come, the three of us can go there. Me, you, and Ethan. We'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. Maybe they'll do something down here in Atlanta. And Terry, maybe you could come. Oh, Terry's gone. Terry dipped out a while ago. I can't believe he made it that long. Uh, but anyway, yeah, we could all go. I think it'd be fun. Just finished practicing for the 6 hours at the Glen. Is that how long that race takes? You guys race for 6 hours? How many laps is that? 400? 500? Cyberpunk. That's a good game. It's a special event. Okay. So kind of like an endurance race. Fry, you doing that, bud? You gonna be in that race? Yeah, I mean, guys, and you guys know you can stay here. Y'all can come here and crash. You don't have to get a hotel. Be all good. Mm. Oh, yeah. Terry's been talking about going to WrestleMania, or Terry is going to WrestleMania in Philly next year. I can't justify spending that money yet, but maybe in a couple years, especially if Ethan gets into it, and I could take him with me. It wouldn't be just me spending a boatload of money for me. Shopping for Airbnbs. I mean, shit, they're just expensive as hotels now these days. We looked into it as well. Used to be able to save a little bit of money with Airbnb. Now you're going to spend just as much. So find that hot deal. You drink at wrestling shows? Is it like going to like a football game? Is everybody all drunk? Or is everybody just so into it that they're just engaged in what's going on? Because I have a feeling, uh, you know, I'd love my Coca Cola. You can drink. I mean, I figured as much. I just wasn't sure. I'd never. Be kind of silly if they didn't let you drink. You got a Jack and Coke right now. I'm just drinking Coke. Smooth Coke. I am looking forward to all the other stuff during Mania weekend. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that's an experience, just like going to the Super Bowl. You don't wanna just go for the Super Bowl, you wanna show up for the press conferences, for, all the extra events. I'm sure that's gonna be a blast, man. Have you ever been to WrestleMania? I guess not. If you said it's a bucket list for you, you haven't been to WrestleMania, so I know it was something that was important to you. I just wasn't sure if, you had been to one. You've been to 2 of them, AJ. Damn, bro. What don't you do? Don't you Jelly, my hero. We about to collab. That's what I wanna know. What's your first Marvel video gonna be coming up so I can help prepare? I don't make a fool of myself on your podcast. Nice. Went to WrestleMania 20 and WrestleMania 27. Nice. And Ryan, I know you went to the Royal Rumble. I know you went to the Rumble. You told me you wanted to go to all the major events at least once, right? And when that your plan? You wanted to try to go to at least all of them at least once? Go to the Rumble, go to the Mania, go to SummerSlam. I don't really care what show I go to. I mean, that didn't have to be WrestleMania for me. I just want to see a fun show with a good card. You know what I mean? It's not a bucket list thing for me. I don't have to spend $2,000 or whatever it would cost to go to that shit. But I um I want to go see a live show, a good live show, and I want to take Ethan. I think he'd have a good time. Our next one's coming up, Guardians 3, middle of July. Okay, I'm ready for that. Shit, Guardians 3. I think that they pussed out. Other than that, the movie was perfect. I think they should have killed Rocket. I think that they had it. It was perfect. Oh man, I drank that Coke really fast. I need another one. This is a yeah. You ain't seen it yet? That's your fault. That's your fault. Sorry. I mean, that's all I said. I know it's a big deal. I'm sorry. Yeah, they don't kill Rocket. They don't kill Rocket. They should have, but they don't. They pussed out. Oh shit, Guardians of the Galaxy is arguably the best trilogy in Marvel. I mean, I almost feel like I have to disqualify Captain America simply because his third movie is a freaking Avengers light movie. So I don't know that I can include that, but if you do, then of course Captain America has the best trilogy. Okay, then if you don't disqualify Cap, then he absolutely has the best trilogy because the only one that people don't even find amazing is part 1, and I love the first Captain America. I do love the first Captain. And then part 2 is probably my second favorite Marvel movie of all time, and then the third one is likely my third favorite movie of all time if I don't make that Endgame. So he could arguably have 2 of my favorite 3 Marvel movies of all time. So yeah, um, but that's a pretty solid list, AJ. Cap 1, Guardians 2, and Spider-Man 3. Yeah, that's probably about right. That's probably about right. Um, all right, I've got an interesting question for everybody. Favorite non-MCU Marvel movie? Because that's something that I thought about doing was ranking the top 10 non-MCU Marvel movies. So we're talking, Blade, the original Fox X-Men movies, the Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, the Punisher movies, all of the Punisher movies. So there's a lot of really good non MCU Marvel movies. So I'd like curious what your favorites are. The best superhero movie ever made, Spider-Man 2, the Raimi. I mean, shit, that's easily the best live action Spider-Man movie that's not relying on nostalgia. I don't know how else to put it. If I do like No Way Home probably more than Spider-Man 2, but it's because of Spider-Man 2 that No Way Home works so well. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. I don't know if I should give the nod to Spider-Man 2 because you're right. That's the best one. You like Blade 2 and 3 more than 1. I'll agree with you with 2, three's trash, bro. I gotta wholeheartedly disagree with you that part 3 is better than 1. I'll give you part 2. I think Blade 2 is the best of the trilogy, 100%. Um, but I do not think that part 3 is better than part 1. So, I will disagree with you there, but my Blade ranking would be 2, 1, 3. If you're making me pick best non-MCU Spider-Man or non-MCU Marvel movie, at the moment, I'm picking, Across the Spider-Verse, but if it's non-animated, it would be Spider-Man 2 for sure, 100%. You just like movies that have wrestlers in them. You're just biased to wrestler movies, okay? Fucking Triple H is in this movie, and you're all about it. It does have Ryan Reynolds. He's funny. He works, I guess. God, they couldn't even get Wesley Snipes to open up his eyes. It has CGI eyes, Ryan. There's a scene where his eyes are CGI. He couldn't even do this. He was so stoned. Actually, they said that he smoked like so much weed that they just like couldn't get him to come out of his trailer. They had to refer to him as Blade the entire movie. He wouldn't answer to Wesley or Mr. Snipes or anything. They had to call him Blade the entire movie. That dude's a fucking trip. Oh god. Jessica Biel did look good in that movie though. Justin Timberlake, lucky dude. I love you, babe. I love Thomas Jane Punisher. Yeah, me too. Me too. Did you see shit? What's the short they made with him? Laundry Day or Laundry Service? Tell me somebody's seen that other than me. If you haven't, y'all motherfreakers need to watch it right this second. Go on YouTube. Thomas Jane Punisher. I think it's called like Laundry Service or Laundry Day. Laundry. Something. It's only like 3 minutes long, 4 minutes long, but it's what they should have given us with the Thomas Jane Punisher movie. Holy shit. Yeah. Jason's seen it. He knows what I'm talking about. If y'all ain't seen it, you're messing up. I know it has a wrestler, freaking Kevin Nash, fucking Where's Waldo looking mother trucker. Oh, what the hell were they thinking with that getup? Were they trying to make him look as ridiculous as possible? The guy who did it did a Power Rangers one too, and it's great. Uh, I didn't know that, but I will check it out because if because I mean, I like Power Rangers. You're talking old school Power Rangers, like the shit that we would care about, like Red Ranger, Green Ranger, sexy ass Pink Ranger, that kind of stuff. R.I.P. Yellow Ranger. Nice. then I'm all for it. I'm all for it. If I had screen share open right now, we'd watch it all together right now, but I don't have that up yet. R.I.P. Green Ranger. Yeah, shit, man. I'm sad they didn't get to finish that movie they were working on. He was working on a movie. I think it was called like The Legend of the White Dragon. It had nothing to do with uh, the White Ranger or anything like that. It was a completely unrelated movie, but he was working on a movie, something like that. Legend of the White Dragon, blah blah blah. But I'm sad he didn't get to finish that because I think that would have been really cool. But I know they're still trying to get it out on his behalf. So I'll watch it. I'll watch it just because you know he was a he was fine. Yeah, yeah. It was he was a big deal to us. Everybody wanted to be the Green Ranger back in the day, or the White Ranger for that matter. So I modeled a lot of my technique when I took martial arts against the Green Ranger. Power Ranger Netflix show. Shit, I didn't even know they had a Netflix show. Is it like actual Power Rangers, or are we talking like a documentary? What are we talking about here? Real Power Ranger shit? Bro, I mean, who didn't? Who didn't? Who didn't want to be the White or Green Ranger? Like, not gonna make me the Red Ranger. He's the leader. Is he though? You sure about that? You sure about that? Okay. Okay. Hell yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna check it out. Hell yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'll probably do that as soon as we're done here. Yeah, girl. She's still fine. Man, you all seen her? She's still fine. Some people just don't age. And I don't know if it's money or genetics or what, but she's still fine. They tried to get her to come back for that special. She's like, "No, thank you. I'm good." We were talking about the Punisher. Ray Stevenson died recently. That was kind of sad. Do you guys remember him? He was the Punisher in Punisher Warzone. That movie's not as bad as people say. It's not great. Uh, it hasn't really made a great Punisher movie. I hope that John Berthal gets a chance because that's a Punisher. That dude, that hallway scene. And if you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. Good God! And then his fight with the Kingpin. That's shit. I could do just the top 10 Vincent D'Onofrio movies because that dude, shit, man. People don't even know he's so good at his job that I bet you most people don't even realize that he's the guy in Men in Black. He's the guy in Full Metal Jacket. He's the guy in Cell. He's the guy in Jurassic World. He's freaking Kingpin. Like, come on, man. That guy has lost more talent in his life than I'll ever have, and it's sad. Some people get it all, but he's a special actor. I like that guy. I'm really trying to remember what the name of that Turtles movie was that I watched. Did I know that John Bernthal is a nephew of a WWE legend? Well, I did not know that, and now you've got to spill. Got to spill before AJ spoils it, because if you don't tell me, AJ is going to tell me. I'm excited. Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it first? Kurt Angle. Okay. There's a dude. You know what? Hot take. Kurt Angle, probably the best freaking heel, best all around wrestler I've ever seen. I don't know that there's ever been a man on the planet that could make me hate him so much and then turn around and have my freaking sides busting with laughter. Maybe heel Rock, but he didn't stick around long enough. Heel Austin, again, was great for a while, but he didn't stick around long enough. But shit, Kurt Angle was special. That dude was special. I mean, he won the Olympics with a broken freaking neck. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. So my wrestling knowledge really goes back to 2002 Edge and Nora. I bet you KO was a good heel, but he's over now. Him and Zayn are over big time, aren't they? I mean, he didn't like double cross him or any of that bullshit, did he? I'm pretty sure they're still juking and jiving together. Uh, I like KO. Shit, KO, he does like all of the moves that my creator wrestler would do. Like if I created a wrestler, Kevin Owens does all of those moves, and that's why I like him. He's just like a human highlight reel of badass wrestling moves. And of course, the stunner in my mind is the greatest finisher of all time. I don't care. I will die on that hill. For me, a great finisher is all about spontaneity, being able to bust it out in an instant. So the stunner, the diamond cutter, the RKO. Notice they're all very similar, but it's because you can hit them from so many different ways, so many different angles, and at any point in time. One of my favorite wrestling matches of all time, and you guys will probably laugh at me because again, I'm a super, super casual, but it was like the year 2000. I believe it was Starcade, WCW, fucking Goldberg versus DDP. Goldberg versus DDP. Goldberg sucks, but DDP worked this man all over the ring and gave us one of the best matches I've ever seen. He must have hit four freaking diamond cutters on Goldberg, and every single time I thought it was over. And it's just that's one of I will always remember that match. And Ryan, you could probably tell me the match. Again, I'm pretty sure it was Starcade. It was like 2099, somewhere around there. Halloween Havoc. That what it was? Great fucking fight, man. Great fucking fight. Great fight. Great fight. I know he's not known for his matches, but that one sticks out in my mind for sure. I thought that he was going to be the one that broke the streak back then, back when that actually mattered. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. I'm just drunk enough to I mean, I'm just uh buzzed enough on my caffeine that I can't go to sleep. So yeah, let's watch that match after we're done here. I'm 100% down. So I'm not an idiot. It's actually a good match. I'm not being a fool. I thought I was silly. I'm probably silly. You'll show me DDP's best match. Oh, I bet you. I mean, you if he can have a great match with Goldberg, then I bet you put him with an actual ring technician, he could probably have an even better match. But this is just one again. I remember I was a big Goldberg fan back in the day. I was completely smitten with the streak. I thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. He made me a wrestling fan. Goldberg did. 100%. 100%. Yeah. He made me a wrestling. It wasn't until Goldberg became a thing that I was like, "Wow, who's this guy?" And, I know Ryan used to always, try to get me to watch wrestling. I know I used to watch wrestling with you back in the day. I liked Hogan, I liked Macho Man. I was a big Ricky the Dragon Steamboat fan, you know that. I love the Dragon. But I was never invested until Goldberg came in, and then he got me hooked. Monday Night Wars brought me in, and then The Rock and Stone Cold just took over. And then once John Cena came in, I lost interest in the PG era. I didn't watch any of the PG era. So I feel bad because I'm a huge John Cena fan now, but I completely missed out on his entire run at the top of the WWE. And I don't feel like I missed a whole lot of good shit, you know? I feel like I'm watching some of the best wrestling ever right now. So, shit, fucking Kenny Omega. I didn't even know that man's name a year ago, and now he's a freaking god. That dude's amazing. His match, I can't wait to watch him and Will Ospreay match fight again because that fight, what they did over in New Japan, I am what? What am I, Ryan? Tell me. Can't keep talking until you answer. Oh, I am watching. Yes, 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 yes. I agree. I agree. Um, especially fuck man, women's wrestling. Good lord. Good lord. I that Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair match at was it WrestleMania? That was the best female wrestling match I've ever seen my entire life. Charlotte fucking ate that face first slam like a champ. Made her look like a champ. But yeah, like I was saying, I watched again, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay fight like in New Japan or something a little while ago, a year, 2 years, whatever ago, and it was like one of the greatest matches of all time. I remember watching it. It was about 20 minutes long, if I'm not mistaken. You found your new career. Please elaborate. Come on, you can't leave me hanging. Type faster. You could be a wrestler. I'm gonna be a wrestler. That's a declaration if I ever heard one. That's not a prediction. Yeah, there you go. See, that's what I'm saying. That match was badass. I watched it and I loved it. Now they're gonna fight again at Forbidden Door, and I'm not gonna have to watch like a weird little bootleg copy of it. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be good. I'm excited for that. All right, Krista, what's your gimmick? What's your character name? You can't just tell me you're gonna be a wrestler. What's your gimmick? What's your finisher? And then you can come in here and you can, if it's good enough, I'll let you slam it on me in front of the camera. You can come in here and hit me with it. 5-star frog splash from on top of my snake cage. I'll hit you with the freaking Macho Man flying elbow from up top my stand right there. Get with the ooh, yeah, yeah, fucking Macho Man. Ooh, yeah. I'm really trying hard to watch more AEW. The frog splash is my son's move. Ryan, so my kid's obsessed with frogs, real frogs. So when I told him that there was a wrestling move called the frog splash and I demonstrated it for him, now anytime I lay down on a bed or a couch and I'm not paying attention, boy, that son, I'm just like the frog splash every time, every time, every time, every time. Broken back, broken back, busted spleen, cracked ribs. I mean, he's like 25 pounds of solid bone. Okay, he's a big kid. Have you? No, no, he don't know nothing about Jake the Snake. Yeah, he is 50 pounds. He's a big boy. I know. I know. Oh, man. All right. Guys, I am gonna call it because I gotta put my kid down. He's still up, and my wife is inexplicably still awake, even though she has to wake up at like 6 a.m. So, uh, I I had a blast. I hope you guys had a blast too. We'll do it again next week, Thursday, same time next week. Hopefully, I can figure out how to get the split screen. We'll find out. Yep, yeah, I'll jump over to the Discord. Let me give me like 5 minutes to get my little dude down, and then I'll jump on Discord and we'll watch that match. Okay, so I'll see you all in a bit.